Yeah, so good morning to everyone. You're welcome to today's live session, live trading session. So this week, this week is the last week of the month. The month is really running very fast. The month is really running very fast. So you are welcome. Welcome to the live session. You are welcome to the live session this morning. So good morning. Good morning, Amandu. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Can you hear me? Can you hear me loud and clear? Can you hear me loud and clear on YouTube? If you can you hear me? Is my mic okay? Is my mic okay on YouTube? Can you hear me? All right. All right. Eliasu. Okay, so it's another week. It's what do you call it? The last week of the month. All right, it's the last week of the month, so we need to make sure we are making the wise decision. One thing about the market is most of the times what happens is what the most profit. I've been saying this thing more often. The most profitable week is what the first, the second week, and the third week of the month, and the last week is very. The most of the time, the first week and the last week. The first week is mostly NFP week, and the last week is mostly as the monthly candle is about to fall. So most of the time, what happens is what the market usually range, and like as in the movement of the market is there is chaotic in the movement of the candle. So you need to be very careful on how the market moves when it happens like that. So the last week of the month it's part of the dangerous weeks that we need to be very careful of, because the monthly candle is trying to form, is trying to close and other stuff. So we need to be very careful, and we need to be very meticulous in what our dealing. You get it? You need to be very meticulous in our dealing. So you're all welcome back once again. And one thing is what those so if you are in Africa, or if you are in Ghana, you've waked up early morning trying to what trying to make some money, or trying to even learn how to trade the financial market. One thing I want to encourage you this morning is what everything will one day pay off. So you don't have to get discouraged. Okay, it's an investment that you are doing in yourself, and one day everything is going to pay off. So never give up in anything that you determine to achieve. Life is very difficult at the initial point or at the initial stage. Nothing comes very easily. So you need to keep on grinding, never give up. You get it. And at the end of the day, it's going to pay if you do it for long. One thing is what nature never disappoints. Nature will never disappoint you. If you continue doing something for a long period of time, there's no way nature is going to disappoint you. Nature really is going to pay you. Okay. Nature is watching everyone. And everything that you are doing, nature is watching us. Okay. So with time, it's going to pay off. So never give up. Okay, never give up. All right, so let's move on to the charts and see what is going to happen. As I've been saying, today is the last week of the month, and we need to be very careful. We need to make some money too this week. So let's check the economic calendar and see what's going to. So if we are trading currencies, one thing that you need to check at first. Anytime you do your analysis, you don't have to overlook those things. You need to check it first in the morning. You need to first check it first in the morning before you even try to even what execute. You get it? You need to check it first in the morning. Let me check like my network is now. All right, so all right. So as I'm saying, we need to check it first in the morning. Can you hear me? Can you people hear me? Brenny, all right.
Yeah, we can hear you, but it's going to
Okay, it was like the network wasn't.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Okay.
So it seems I'm seeing some opportunity on GBP JPY. So let's check the fundamentals for the day and see what's going on. So with the fundamentals, it's one of the high major days that you need to be very careful. We're having a lot of fundamentals. So euro, one thing is what euro, CHF, and those GBP. If there was any fundamental news, you don't have to overlook and say that since it is an euro news, it is not going to affect GBP. It's going to affect it. When it is CHF news, it is going to affect GBP. Okay, so all the news, any currency, they are all in the eurozone. The CHF, the euro, they are all in the eurozone. So you need to be very careful. It's going to affect GBP. Okay, if you are trading GBP, it's going to affect it. If you are trading euro, it's going to affect it. So you need to pay very well attention to them. Okay, so we are having 715. We are having French flash manufacturing PMI. So French flash service PMI. So most of the time, what happens is, well, from experience, the service is the most impactful one. You get it? The service is the most impactful one. So we need to be very cautious when the time is about to be released. So the only time that we have is what, from now to what, six, from now to 7. That's the only time. So if you have an opportunity, or if you have trade, then we need to make sure you are taking it before that time. One thing is, if you want to trade successfully, if you want to trade profitably, avoid the news events. Don't trade during that time. When 30 minutes or an hour to approach that time, don't trade. You get it? Don't even bother to trade. If you want to see profitability, one thing is what, news can't be predicted. Even though sometimes, so you see, last week, GBP JPY, for instance, wasn't GBP JPY, I knew exactly where the market is going to head to. You get it? But because of, not I knew exactly, but my speculation on my projection was very high, but because of the news events, I didn't even bother to take it. So if you want to trade profitably, if you want to see consistency in the game, avoid those times, and you need to pay very well attention to them when they're about to be released. You need to be very careful and pay attention to them when they're about to be released. You get it? You need to pay attention to them. So 732, we are having what, German flash manufacturing PMI and German flash service PMI. So these times of the day is very important times of the day, and we are going to witness it ourselves and see how it is going to affect the currency per it. We are going to note, we are going to watch whether it's going to affect the GBP or it's not going to affect the GBP. We are going to be watching them. You get it? So stay tuned. And 8 o'clock too, we are going to see 8 o'clock too. You have medium impact news. You have flash manufacturing PMI and what, flash service PMI. So we need to be very careful about that. And you have 8:32. We have flash manufacturing PMI. So today is more of what. So what does it mean by even PMI, purchasing managers index? So it's more like questions that they usually ask the managers, the suppliers, or the purchasing managers, what they are thinking about the economy. Okay, so if they speak good about the economy, so we have some threshold that they usually give. So if it is above 50%, that means what, the economy is, there was expansion in the economy, or the economy is doing well. If it is less than 50%, that means what, the economy is doing badly. Okay, So most of the time, that's what we usually use to measure. So if their view is above 50%, so if above 50% indicates industry expansion, you get below indicates contraction. So if it is below, it means what? Those contractions. Contraction simply means what? The economy is not doing well. You get it? Their performance is very bad. So expansion means what? Those good performance in the economy. So if the economy is doing well, that means what? The currency too. So every currency is being affiliated with what? A country. Okay, every currency is being affiliated with a country that it belongs to. So if the country is performing very badly, it is going to affect the currency. If the economy too is what performing very well, it is going to affect the currency that what they spend. So mostly every currency is being influenced by the economy that it belongs to. So the US economy, so even for instance, if you're having money, you can buy gold and hold it, in the sense that because of the next month you are going to have what? Election in what? The North American in America, or the North America. Okay, so it's going to make gold rise. You are going to see rise in gold because of what? When there was election, mostly there was uncertainties in the economy. So mostly investors will love to what? Pull their investment or pull their funds from the economy, unless maybe the election has come over, because mostly they don't know what is going to happen. And elections are mostly on certain times. You get it? Elections are on certain times. So most of the time, what you are going to see on gold USD is what? You are going to see a major rise. Okay, you are going to see a major rise. So if you want to see uh, as in if you want to backtest, or if you want to see what has been happening, you can do backtest and see the previous elections, what happened to gold USD. You are going to see a rise in gold USD because of the election. So that's what you're, even though gold is currently in all-time high, but you are going to see more highs on gold because of the election. That's my speculation, or that's my projection. That's what you are going to see. So 8:32, we are going to have flash manufacturing PMI. So today is one of the chaotic days, and around 1:45. So we are going to see what? Flash manufacturing PMI. So today we need to be very careful. If we see, unless we see clear setup before we can what? We will take opportunity, we take advantage of it. So let's first of all, because the pair I'm seeing an opportunity on is GBP USD. Let's analyze GBP USD first before we move to any of the currency pairs. So when we move to GBP USD, so we first of all we do top-down analysis. So if you are new here, what we do is what? We do top-down. Top-down analysis simply means what? So that we usually analyze from the higher time frames to the lower time frames. You get it? So when you move to the monthly time frame, one thing is what? We need to indicate where the market is going to what? Head to. So the market was what? In an uptrend. This was the trend. You get it? It was in an uptrend. So if it has broken, if it is trending up, what you are going to expect is what? A pullback. So as it was doing the pullback, it's either going to retest moving left, it's either going to retest on the previous what? Candle left. But since this candle broke this one has been invalidated. You get it? It has been invalidated. So the current resistance is at this point. This one, so the current resistance is going to be at this end. You get it? So let's try to analyze the candle and see what happened. So if you zoom in and analyze this candle, one thing we can see is what? The current ongoing candle has broken the previous candle tip. You get it? It has broken the previous candle tip. So it is giving us one indication that what? Candle structure is what? An uptrend, because the previous candle has broken. The previous candle has been the previous candle has been broken. So one thing that you have to notice, what? Candle structure on the monthly time frame is what? It's currently an uptrend. Okay, and the pattern structure too is what? An uptrend, in the sense that this the candle structure. You get it? The candle structure is what? An uptrend. You don't need indicator to tell you the trend is an uptrend. if you know how to read the market. So I've already been saying the market is like what, a language. You need to understand how it's being read. So it's an uptrend. It moves in waves. So higher, 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 low, higher, high. Rate testing. What are you expecting? Trend continuation to the next what, reactional level, or to the next reactional zone. That's what you are expecting. You get it? That's what you are expecting. So when you move to the weekly time frame, so in the weekly time frame, price is currently what? The weekly is what? A downtrend. Price is currently rate testing on what? A zone. You get it? Price is rate testing on a zone. So it's still what? A downtrend. Unless this candle has broken it. So the weekly time frame is a downtrend. So it will become an uptrend when it has broken the highs of this one. You get it? Unless this highs has been broken, unless this high has been broken before it can be what, it's we can conclude it's what, an uptrend. But currently it's what, a downtrend. Okay, currently it's a downtrend on what, the weekly time frame. Currently it's a downtrend on the weekly time frame. So we have a tradable zone. Okay, if you look left, you have tradable zones. At this point, you have a tradable zone. So let's move to the daily time frame and see. So the daily time frame is what's the trend of the daily time frame? The daily time frame is what, an uptrend. You get it? So you have you have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. You get it? Lower high, lower low. You get it? So the moment this candle broke the previous lower high, it turned to what, an uptrend. So as it turned to up, this is a point structure change. It shifted around this side. Okay. So as it shifted around this side, this is a point. Okay. Come. So this is the point. This is the point it tends to what? This is a point it tends to an uptrend. You get it? The moment it broke the higher highs over there, the moment it broke that one, it tends to what? This is the point. So change in us, change of structure. That's what mostly they call it. So this the area what there was a change in what, structure. How do they even write it? There was a change in what? There was a change in structure over here. So this is the point, or this is the area that's what there was a change in what, structure. So you have to take note of it. So this candle is the one that changed the structure. So the moment this one was broken, it turns what, an uptrend. So the daily time frame is what, an uptrend. And mostly I've been telling you that we usually concentrate on what, the high time frame. And for you to get a high probability setup, when most of the time frames there, especially most of the high time frames are what, and when most of the high time frames are what, in the same direction, that's when you usually get what, a high probability or high quality setup. You get it? That's when you get a high quality setup. So this candle what, shifted the structure towards an uptrend. So the moment this candle closed, so mostly if you want to determine the shift in structure, you need to always make sure candle has closed, not an ongoing candle. So if this candle is ongoing, you wouldn't have concluded it's an uptrend, because ongoing candle can be a wick and it's what, it can retreat. So you need to be very careful about that. So the daily time frame is currently an uptrend. You get it? The daily time frame is currently an uptrend. So there was what, since currently this is the current price. Okay, so we need to make sure we are identifying the various the support and resistances that are close to the market, the current price. Okay, so with the current price, you see the way the candle has been formed. For you to easily what, identify the support and resistance, you need to change it to a line chart for you to see it very clear. So as you turn it to a line chart, you are now seeing it very, very clear. You get it? You are now seeing it very, very clear. So this is the daily time frame. So when you move to the H4 time frame, so now you have it in mind that what the daily time frame is what an uptrend currently. The daily time frame is an uptrend. So so we indicate it over here. The daily time frame is what an uptrend. So I've already been telling you, if you want to get a high probability setup when most of the high time frames are in the same direction, especially when two or more higher time frames are in the same direction, that's when you usually get a high quality setup. So the H4 is what. So let's now conclude on the H4 and see. So this is the H4 time frame. So what can you say about the H4 time frame? H4 time frame is currently an uptrend. We have higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. You get it? So where did we see the shift in structure? This is the point we saw a shift in what? This is the point we saw a shift in structure. You get it? This wasn't clear. So this is the point we saw a shift in structure. There was a shift in structure at this point. Okay, the moment this candle. So you see how I've been very, very meticulous and systematic on the analysis. So you need to pay attention to every single thing, every invisible, like things that are not visible. You need to pay attention to them. So this is the candle that shifted the structure. You see, the moment this candle closed, everything turned to what? An uptrend. Initially, all this candle was what? It was still a downtrend. By the moment the high, it shifted to what? An uptrend. It shifted it to an uptrend. So this is the point. This is the candle that shifted the structure to an uptrend. So the moment this one broke, it pulled back to the nearest what support level. So it pulled back to here. It continued. We saw a retracement continue. You get it? Continue. So you are seeing the higher highs. You are seeing the higher highs. We are seeing the lower lows. We are seeing the higher highs. Okay, so now it is retesting on what? So you get there. So currently, so if you can remember, this line that we drew over here was a weekly support level. Okay, you see now it has what? Price is really respecting it at what? At the H4 time frame. You see now price is really struggling to what? To break through. You get it? Price is currently struggling to break through. So the reason why I usually use, oh please, if you know your background is noisy, you kindly off my bed. So the reason why I usually use different colors to what? To be able to point it out is what? For the reason why I use different colors is what? For easy identification when it comes to the support and resistance level. So you can see it over here that this was a weekly what? It was a weekly demand or it was a weekly support. You get it? And when you come to the H4 time frame, you can see it very clear that price is really struggling to what? To break through that level. You get it? Price is really struggling to break through that level. It is retesting on it. So that means we can take trade on that level. Okay, I've been saying if you want to take an entry, you need to most of the time. One thing I've noticed is what? Take it on the higher time frame levels, the H4, the daily, and what? The weekly, the monthly. Take it on those levels. Don't take it on when you see H1, the M30, those levels. You are going to get faked out most of the times. So you need to pay attention to that. So now what you are going to be trading, or what you are going to be waiting for, is what we can see. We have a tradable zone at this level. We have a tradable zone level, resistance level. So this is the tradable zone. So now there's no entry on what's H4. So the moment you're going to see a continuation when this candle breaks above this one, okay, when this candle breaks above this one, so let's check and see whether you are going to get an entry. But when you move to the H4, one thing we can see over here, so you need to be very careful. So you see the H4 candle has broken the previous candle tip. That's what GJ for you, if you can see it very well. I hope you guys can see it. The previous candle dip has been broken. You can see it. The previous candle dip has been broken. So now candle. So anytime you have to pay attention to candles, you need to read the candles, the candle formation. If you, when it comes to, you need to pay attention to. You need to read candles. Okay. So what does the previous candle? What is it telling you? So the previous candle is telling you that there was what, there was bias exhaustion. Okay, but initially it formed with no bottom. We're thinking maybe it's going to pull back for the trend to continue, for the candle to move down. It needs to do a pullback at the lower time frame before it will continue. But when it comes to what, when it was about to close, it closed with what, a long wick at the top. So this is what bias exhaustion candle. What it simply means is what, buyers have lost control in the market, and now what, sellers took over some, because we are seeing a long wick at the top. Even though we are seeing the body is bigger than what, the wick, but usually what I will conclude is what, but sellers later took over in the market because the top wick is big. You get it? We are seeing the top, the wick at the top is very big. The wick at the top is very big. So what is going to happen is what, now this previous candle, okay, this previous candle at the H4 time frame has broken the tip. You get it? It has broken the tip of the what, of this candle. So we need to pay attention to them. So what is telling us that what, we can see what, a sell. Okay, we can see, like, so the moment this candle has broken, you can see a sell. So unless it breaks the highs, so when it breaks the high too, we are going to get indecision in the market because it has broken the dip, it has broken the tip. So what is the candle, what is it trying to tell us? If it has broken the dip and it has broken the tip, what is it trying to tell us? So we need to be very careful. We need to be very careful on this candle formation. So what we can do is what, move to the H1 time frame. So when you move to the H1 time frame, you can see the pullback that is what, happening at the H4 time frame. Okay, we can see a pullback. When it comes to entry, you need to make sure what, the H1 structure is already in what, an uptrend, but you need to make sure you have seen a bullish candle. You can't take a buy now because the candles are red. When you are taking a buy, you need to see green candles. Now the candles are red. Why do you want to take a buy? Okay, why do it's not advisable? So the safer side for us to take a buy is what, when the candle has broken, because when it comes to this side, we are having what, a resistance over here, we are having a support view over here, we are having a resistance over here. So this range, this zone is not tradable area. You get it? This zone is not tradable area. So from here to here, the intervals is not that big. So the best thing we can do is wait for the candle to break and close above this one to form something like this. You get it? To form something like this. You need to wait for it to form something like this. So the candle should break above this one, the zone that you are seeing over there. You get it? You need to wait for the candle to break above the zone that you are seeing over here. When it breaks above, then it is going to tell us that it has broken the previous candle. So by then it will break, by then it will break the previous candle what, tip. You get it? By then it will break the previous candle tip. So you need to pay, well, you need to pay very, you need to pay attention to that. Okay, so now currently we can't buy. Okay, one mistake most people do is what, when they can trying to, when you buy at the tip, those selling buy setting or what, placing in putting in place sell limit and buy limit, that thing doesn't help. You get it? that thing doesn't help. If you are taking, unless maybe you have seeked an confirmation, unless maybe you are seeking a strong confirmation like the dynamic rate that I was telling you, with that one you can be setting your buy limit and the sell limit. That one it's normal because you've already seeked confirmation on the higher time frame, as in what I told you about that. If maybe the H4 has closed, maybe if the candle has broken above this one like this, if you are seeing a green candle, if you are seeing a green candle like this, okay, and if the candle is pulling back, because already you seek the confirmation from the higher time frame that the candle, you seek the confirmation from the higher time frame that the candle has broken and closed. So if it is pulling back, you can add position because now you are having many confirmation. The confirmation is what the candle has broken and closed. You are having a strong area over here. So the chances that price is going to get to this side and move up, the chances that price is going to get to this side and move up is very high. So with that one, when it happens like that, you can set your sell limit. But if you have not seen any confirmation, something like this, all the candles are red, you are going to take a buy. It's very risky. No, even if you are having a strong level over here, price can break it. So you need to see if you are buying, make sure candle. I don't know what candle, what color of the candle you use to represent bullish candle. If you are using white, you have to make sure the white candle, you've seen a white candle breaking and close above a resist, breaking and close on a on support level. Okay, if you are using green candle, make sure what a green candle has a green candle has closed above a level before you take it. Don't take what do you call it, an impulsive entries or impulsive entries. Okay, when you are seeing red candles like this and you said you are going and you are saying you are going to buy, it's not advisable that way. Okay, so for your for your advice or for your distance, what I want to tell you is what, make sure the candle is, you are seeing a signal, a green candle or a white candle, no matter the candle you use to represent bullish candle, make sure you are seeing it before you make a decision. You get it. So now you can't buy. Even though the setup is giving us, even the setup has been invalidated the moment this candle break above this one. So unless you are going to wait, I'm very sure this candle is going to break. That this is just a prediction, but I'm very sure it's going to wake, in the sense that because you're having a strong weekly resistance over here, because of the strong weekly resistance that I'm seeing over here. Okay, I'm very sure. I'm very sure because when you check the weekly candle, if you're analyzing the weekly candle very well, okay. So the weekly, so you see this thing that you are seeing over here, it's a nice setup. Supposing you are seeing it at what, the daily or the H4 time frame, you see there was what, lower low, lower high, lower low. The price is now retesting on what, 90% retracement level. When it comes to Fibonacci, it is retesting on what, 90% retracement level. So what are you going to expect? We are going to expect what, trend continuation to this side. But one thing is what, the candle, one thing you have to notice, what, the candle what has broken the previous candle what tip. Okay, so we still have some chances that price might head to this side, you get it, to fill this wick before it will wick down. Okay, before it will wick down, but we don't base on the weekly time frame. We can't take a sell on the weekly, even though we are having a strong level over here at the weekly time frame. But I will not advise, you have to see confirmation. There's no confirmation when it comes to the weekly time frame. If you are taking a sell, it's not advisable, in the sense that this is what a green candle is telling you, that price is buying. Why do you want to sell whilst there's no confirmation? So if the weekly candle is going to close like this, like the signal I gave you on the other time on the daily time frame, we can take a swing trade. So when the weekly candle close like this, when the weekly candle close like this, you can take what, a sell to this point. This is the point we are going to take the sell. We are going to take a sell to this end. You get it. So when it happens like that, that means you have seen a confirmation on the weekly time frame. You get it. When it happens like that, that means you've seen a confirmation on the weekly time frame. This is the confirmation when the candle close like this. You get it? But at this point, there was no confirmation. There was no confirmation in the sense that you are seeing what green candle. This candle hasn't closed yet. This candle hasn't closed yet, so you can't conclude that what it is selling. You get it? You can't conclude it is selling because this candle is what a green candle that you are seeing. So unless this candle close bearish at the end of the week, which is going to happen at the end of the week, and we don't know how certain is that thing is going to happen because we have a long days. The week is very young to conclude that it's going to close something like this. Okay, but it's possible. But the week is very young. Okay, to conclude. So unless we see something like this before we can sell, we wait for this candle to close. So now on the weekly time frame, we can't take what a sell now unless the weekly candle has closed and it has closed a very small bearish candle. Then we take a sell like what happened last week on the buy signal that I gave it to you, and it happened perfectly. So the thing that you are analyzing on the lower time frame, the same thing happens on what the higher time frames. Okay, the candle formation, the patterns are the same in all the time frames. The patterns are the same in all the time frames. So anything that you are seeing at the weekly or the daily time frame, you can take the same thing as what even when it comes to the 5 minute time frame, when it comes to the 15 minute time, the same pattern happens over there. You get it? The same pattern happens over there. So now what you are looking for is what you are looking for is a buy because you are our focus. So you need to have a plan. Our plan most of the times our plan is what to focus on the daily and H4 time frame. So when you come here, the daily pattern is what an uptrend. When it comes to this side, the daily pattern is what an uptrend. The H4 pattern is what an uptrend. Even though daily time frame is giving us some confirmation. Sorry, the daily time frame is giving us a setup, but there's no confirmation. So we can't take what a buy now. You get it? Sorry, we can't take a sell now. Even though price, I hope you guys are understanding what I'm talking about. There was a setup, a clear setup on the weekly time frame. You get it? This is the setup. This is the setup on the weekly time frame. This is lower low, lower high, lower low, retested on this level. You get it? This is the setup. So when price breaks and it is retesting, it is going to retest on the nearest what resist. If it is selling, it is going to retest on the nearest resistance level. So we are having a resistance level over here. The candle broke above, and now it is retesting 100%. It is doing 100% retracement level, pullback. Okay, it is doing 100% pullback at the weekly time frame. But one thing I'm saying is what there's no confirmation. We are not going to justify our conclusion, or we are not going to justify uh, a sell because what price has gotten to this level. Even though we have it is one not one it is part of the confirmation, but we are not going to base on that. We need to see what extra confirmation is what when it comes to what the candles. What are you seeing? There's no entry confirmation over here because the candle you are seeing is what a bullish candle, unless you've seen what a bearish candle closing on this support level before you can what make a decision. But when it comes to Fibonacci, this one has retraced 100% Fibonacci, so you can pull out the Fibonacci too. I don't use Fibonacci. When it comes to Fibonacci retracement, when you put a candle, so mostly it depends. Some people can use it on the body of the candle, others too can use it on what on the what on the wick of the candle. So this is the low. So mostly when I was using Fibonacci, I used to use what the wicks of the candle. So this is the high of the candle, this is the low of the candle. So it is what this 100%. So let me use the body and see. But mostly we don't use the body. We can turn it towards a line chart and see. So we can see. So you see, it is rate tested on what 100% Fibonacci level. But the tool is not needed. Okay, the tool is not needed. You don't need the tool to be able to know it is rate tested on what. So currently retested on the weekly time frame, it is retested on what 100% Fibonacci level, but you don't have to sell because there was no confirmation. Get it? There's no confirmation. You don't have to sell. Now when you move to what the H4 time frame, time frame, we what we are expecting is what we are expecting this candle to just wake, because when it comes to the H4 candle has broken above this what support level. The H4 candle has broken above this support level, and I'm saying we can't just make a decision and sell, because one thing is what I've seen it before. This candle can just make a wick and what continue up. Okay, this candle can make just a wick and continue up. So now you need to what, even though this one has broken, you don't have to be very impulsive and what take a sell. When it happens like that, you are making an impulsive decision. Let's wait. Even if you are going to take a sell based on what the weekly time frame, then what you have to do is what you need to wait for the candle to close. Okay, you need to wait for the candle to close. So at this point of the day, we are going to wait for the flip of this candle to move up before we can take a buy. We are not interested in the sell. Okay, we are not interested, because we need to follow our plan, and our plan is what we are always looking at the daily and H4 structure. We are not looking at the weekly structure. What we usually look at the weekly is what the various support and the various levels, the various support and resistance level. That's what mostly we look at the weekly time frame. So we can't take a sell. We can't take a sell now. Okay, but there was an upcoming news at 7:15. At 7:15 there was an upcoming news, so we are going to patiently wait for the lending session to open. We are going to wait for the lending session to open. I hope you guys are enjoying trading. Are you enjoying the analysis? I really love analysis. I really love trading. I'm very passionate about trading. I don't know how you guys too. Trading is very interesting, especially when it comes to analysis. I love analysis. Most people get discouraged because they risk more. So let's move to the other pairs too. Let's move to GBP USD and see. So kindly give a like on the stream. Give a like. If you have not given a, give a like on the stream. Give a like. Okay, click on the thumbs up button. Click on the thumbs up if you are enjoying the stream. If you are not enjoying, then you can stop. If you are enjoying the stream, kindly click on the thumbs up button. So let's move to the monthly time frame. So when you move to the monthly time frame on GBP USD, we can see what the monthly time frame. There was a minor. The monthly time frame is currently an uptrend. This is the point it shifted to an uptrend. You get it? This is the point it shifted to an uptrend. So this resistance level. So one thing I want to tell you people is, when it comes to the forex market, everyone has it. Most people have its own ways of what analyzing the market. You get it? Everyone has its own way of analyzing the market. So when you see someone taking a trade and you are not taking a trade, don't feel from. I don't know how many people are on Instagram, because most of the flashy lifestyle is on Instagram. When it comes to the traders lifestyle, it's on Instagram. So I don't know how many people are on Instagram. So when it comes to Instagram, you're going to see a lot of people showing their flashy lifestyle. I'm coming. So that's what I'm saying. Most people are showing their lifestyle on what? Most people are showing their lifestyle on what do you call it? Instagram and other stuff. So one thing is what? Don't feel FOMO when it's. Don't feel like maybe you are not getting a trade or other stuff. One thing is what? Your time will come. So you have to do is what? Stick to your plan. That's the most important thing. You need to stick to your plan, because everyone has its own time. You get it? Everyone has its own time. Everyone sees the market differently, and the way you are analyzing the market, the way you analyze the currency pair, it's going to happen. A time will come, your setup is going to also happen. So you don't need to what sell for more within a week or within before. Even if you don't get a trade within a week, the subsequent days to come, your setup will happen. So kindly stay patient and what try to stick to your plan. If you don't have a plan, that's the most difficult part. So you need to have a plan. So when it comes to GU, so this is the current resistance level. So if as price is heading up like this, as price is heading up, you get it. As price is heading up, the next reactional level is going to be at this level. Okay. So since it has broken the previous candle tape, price is going to head to this side. That's what you have to bear in mind. Price is going to head to this side. Price is going to this side. So when it moves to the weekly time frame, but when it comes to the support and resistance level, when price gets to this side, it is going to pull back to what the nearest support level. So this is the nearest support level. This is the nearest support level. Why it hasn't gotten there yet? This is the monthly candle, and it's really going to take a long period of time before it will even get there. You get it? It's going to take a long period of time before price will get there. So there's no need for us to even indicate it on the chart. On the weekly time frame, it's also what an uptrend. Okay, it's trending up. So when it comes to the various reactional levels, we have what a reactional level at this point. If price is pulling back, it is pulling back, it is going to pull back to this level. So if you want to see the accuracy of those levels, you change it to a line chart. You change it to a line chart. So this is the accuracy of those levels. So you have a tradable zone at this point. This is the tradable zone. This is the tradable zone. You get it? This is the tradable zones. So when it comes to the daily time, so the weekly time frame is what an uptrend. So since you're having a tradable zone at this end, what are you expecting? You're expecting price what? You're expecting price to head to the side. You get it? You're expecting price to head to the side. So let's move to the daily time frame. We need to make it very quick before the learning session will open. So when it comes to what? When it comes to the daily time frame, we are having a resistance level over here at the daily time frame. So you change it to different colors so that when you move to the lower time frames, it will be very clear and easy for you to point it out. So on the daily time frame, you're having what a resistance level over here at the daily time frame. So we're having what a resistance level 2 over there. So when it on the daily time frame, you are also on what a big tradable zone. So this is all tradable zone. So we have tradable zone to what up to this point. So we can play within this range. But currently on the daily time frame, we are in the middle of a range. So we can't take a buy over here. In the sense that from here to the area of interest is far from each other, so we can't take a buy at this point. So unless we move to the h4, so if you move to the h4 and you are not getting a level, because we base our levels on h4, the daily and the weekly. If you are not getting a level, then we need to wait for a pullback to this level. But fortunately, we are having what a level. So we have resistance level over here. We have a resistance level over here. We have a resistance level over here. You're having what a support level 2 over here. You get it? So currently the H4 time frame 2 is what an uptrend. You get it? H4 time frame 2 is an uptrend. The H4 time frame is what? It's an uptrend. You get it? The H4 time frame is an uptrend. So let's check. Let's look left and see if you are having a tradable zone. Let's look left. So when you look left, this the level that, so currently this is the current market price. If you can see the heading lines, this is the current market price. So when you see this is the resistance level, okay, this is the resistance level. Okay, so on the H4 time frame, reactional zone over here. So this is the reactional zone. Okay, this is the reactional zone. Now price, when price is pulling up, it's pulling up to this side. So so if supposing this gap is big, you could have even taken advantage, but the gap is very small. So this is a range, you get it? It's a range in the sense that we're having many resistance levels. You get it? You're having many resistance levels. You can't take a buy over here, but there are a lot of ranges. So the best thing you can do is what? Is to wait for the breakout of this candle, then you take a buy. Because if you are taking a buy now, you have a lot of ranges over here. Even though all the time frames are pointing up, but you have a lot of ranges. You get it? You have a lot of ranges. So we can't take a buy at this point. You can't take a buy at this point. So you need to wait for what? The breakout of the candle. Then we take. You need to wait for a breakout of candle. Then we take what? A buy. You need to wait for a break of what? The structure. Then you take a buy. That's what I'm going to recommend, because this is a range. Okay, this is a range. So let's check GG. What's going on over there? So one I have a big what? I have a big hope that this candle is just making a pullback and it is going to wake up. That's what I'm thinking. You get it? That's what I'm thinking. I have a strong belief that this is just a pullback and it's what? Move up. But let's see. In the next 5 minutes, you are going to see the lending session to open, and when the lending session opens at H1, sorry, at 7:15, so you are going to have some high impact news. So let's see how this the high impact news is going to drive candle or the price. Okay, one thing is what? Candles are the same as price. The formation of the candles are the same as what? Price. They are the same as price. So let's move to Euro USD and see whether there's an opportunity. So the opportunity I was seeing is what? On Euro USD. Sorry, on GBP USD rather. So let me see whether on Euro USD too. So on Euro USD, this is the current market structure. Okay, if I'm zooming in for you to see it well, this is the current market structure. So the monthly time frame looks like what? A range. So we have the next reactional level at this point. Okay, this is the next reactional level. So we have a support level around this point. We have a support level around this point. So when you move to the weekly time frame, on the weekly time frame, you have what? You have a resistance level over here at the weekly time frame. So we have a resistance level 2 over here. That's on the weekly time frame. So currently, it looks like price is what? Has gotten to a reactional level. Price is currently on a reactional level. Okay, so when you get to reactional level, one thing you have to notice what? You are either going to see what? A breakout, or you are either going to see what? A retest. That's what happened on a reactional level. It's either going to break out, okay, this is what is going to happen. It's either going to break out or what? Retest on this level and bounce back. That's what happens on reactional level. So you see a reaction, okay. So the reaction is either going to be what? A breakout, or it's either going to be what? A retest. You get it? That's what usually it happens on a reactional level. So that's on the. So when you move to the weekly time frame, when you move, so on the weekly time frame, we are having a support level over here. So if price is bouncing back, as price is moving up, if it is bouncing back, it's going to bounce back to this level. You get it? It's going to bounce back to this level. So let's move to the daily time frame. So when it comes to the daily time frame, currently price is currently on a reactional level. Price is currently on a reactional level. So what you are expecting is what? It's either going to bounce back to the nearest resistance level and continue up. But currently it's in a range. Okay. So you have a support level right here. So as price is bouncing back, the nearest level that price is going to retest on is at that level. You get it? It's at that level. So let's move to the H4 time frame. So there was no better setup on what Euro USD. Euro USD is currently in a range. So even though the H4 time frame looks like what a downtrend, okay, it looks like a downtrend, but one thing is what it has broken the tip over here. If you want to get a high probability setup, you need to wait for what H4 and daily being in the same direction. That's what I see to be what a high probability setup. So the news is about to get hit. So let's move to the lower time frame and see what's happening. Because currently it has broken the highs, it has broken the lows. So we can't conclude now. Even though H4 trend is what a downtrend. So are you going to say it is going to move down? Let's observe it. So in the next 36 seconds, landing session. Okay, the news is not yet ready. It will be ready around 7:15. Okay, it will be ready around 7:15. So currently the H4 time frame is what? Even though the H4 time frame trend is what a downtrend, you get it? The H4 time frame trend is currently a downtrend. So kindly give a like on the stream. Click on the thumbs up. You guys are not giving a like. So if you are watching the stream, kindly give a thumbs give a like on the stream by clicking on the thumbs up button over there. So the H4 time frame is currently what a downtrend. You get it? H4 time frame is currently a downtrend. But one thing is what candle structure has broken the tip and it has broken the dip. So it is indecisive now. Indecision. It has broken the tip. It has broken what? The dip. By currently, we are having Euro news about to hit the market at 7:15. So we need to be very careful. At 7:15, we are going to have what? Euro news. At 7:15, we are going to have Euro news. So you need to be very, very careful on that. We need to be very, very careful on that. So let's wait and see at 7:15 what is going to happen. One thing is what? It's mostly most at times when the daily and the H4 time frame is in the same direction. That's the best way to get an entry. Okay, that's the best way to get an entry. It's better that way when an opportunity avail itself. Okay, so for me, for instance, that's what I've decided to be doing, to take high quality trades. So you see, every trader is having his or every trader is having his or a category or a type of setup. So when it comes to my A type of setup, that's when we are having, when the daily and H4 trend is in the same direction. That's when it is my A setup. You get it? That's when it is my A setup. But my B setups are when the H4 only, when it is the H4 direction or H4 trend. You get it? When it is my H4 trend. But most of the times, my A setup is when the daily and the H4 are in the same direction. Okay, that's when I usually get high quality setups. So at this point, you are going to fold our arms and watch, because there was an upcoming PMI is an high impact news. Don't try to, unless maybe you are trying to what, just gamble your money on. But at this point, I'm going to advise you to what, just be patiently, and what, we should observe it together at 7:15. So it's 12 minutes. It's left with some few minutes, because the H4 trend is what, a downtrend. So are you going to say it is going to continue down to fill this gap or to fill this range? Then you need to what, patiently wait and observe this range. You have a big range over here. So let's patiently wait and observe at 7:50 after the news is being released. After the news is being released. So they are all what, moving up. So let's wait and see what is going to happen. Let's patiently wait and see what is going to happen. So at 7:15, you're having one high impact news. 7:32, you're having a high impact news. 8 o'clock, 8:32, you're having a high impact news. All right. So good morning to you all. Brandon, good morning. Good morning, Richie. Good morning, Elizabeth. Good morning, Obi. Good morning, Masudu. Good morning to you all.
Yes, I would.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, John.
So I'm having a strong belief that this candle is just going to wake and what, continue up to this side. That's what I'm hoping this candle is going to do. That's what I'm hoping this candle is going to do. But since it has broken the previous candle dip, I strongly believe that it's either going to pull back. You are going to see a pullback, but everything is going to depend on after the news has been released. After the news has been released. So Euro USD is wild this morning because we're having a lot of news on euros. Well, Ireland today is holiday, right? In Ghana.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not going to work today. Will you be going to work today?
Yes, boss. Yes, boss. I'll be going.
Okay, you are an entrepreneur.
Yes, boss. I'm doing my own job, so we don't get holiday.
So now your boss too is in there. Where is he? At Reason or?
My boss today better.
He said he has a contest with you, so you have to prepare.
I tell you.
That boy is funny. It's going to be a challenge, so you have to find your accounts and are going to trade it to $100. Even though you were expecting this, but that doesn't mean we need to take it, because we are having a news that is about to hit the market, so you don't have to be in rush to make a decision on it. We need to. Wow, the news has not even started, and seeing. So the week is very young. We need to be very, very, very careful in any decision we are making. Let me check GG. Oh, it's also moving down. It's also selling deeply. So 7 minutes more for the news to be released. I'm hoping this week too is going to be a good week.
Yeah, definitely.
Last week was one of the best week.
Mm.
But this week, when you check tomorrow you don't have any news. It's tomorrow around 2 p.m. So that will be cool. So because of the election, we are going to the election is next month. We are going to see some spikes and other stuff in the market. That November is the US election. We will be seeing some rough moves in the market. Okay, we are heading towards October. September has really run very fast. Wednesday too, you don't have any high impact news. So Tuesday that we have CHF news at 7:30 and 8 o'clock too. And on Friday. So the month is going to end. Hey, wow. So this is not the last week. So you have next week. You have next week and next week Monday and next week Tuesday to be the end of the month. So next 2 weeks. So we still have a lot of time for the month. And I was thinking this week is going to be the last week. But I still have a lot of time. So wow, M15. The news, wow, has it? The news hasn't started, but we are already seeing a spike. Wow, the news hasn't started, but we are seeing a spike. So why someone raised up his hand? Why are you having a question, David? As if why J? If you have a question, you can drop it in the chat box. The news hasn't started, but I seen a spike. Let me check DJ. So let's wait it. So 4 minutes more for it to be released. So when September. So what are they expecting? So they are expecting 43, which is what a contraction, which is below the threshold of 50. That was the previous numbers, but there was no data for that. Let me refresh. Okay, I think there was numbers given. What are they expecting? Today is 23rd, right? Okay, so they are forecasting 44, which is what way below. So if this numbers happens to be true, then you have to expect contraction, even though it is greater than the previous numbers, but still below the threshold. It's supposed to be above 50%. So you need to expect weakness. Okay, so that's why the euro has okay. So you see how it is that sometimes some of the things you are seeing over here is going to align, because when you read the French flash PMI, what they are saying is what when the data is what above what 50%, it means what expansion in the economy, and when you see below 50%, it means what contraction. So now what's the data given over here is what 44.3. That's the forecast number. That's what they are projecting or speculating. This is what analysts, the data that analysts brought was 44.3. And the previous numbers was 43.9. Even though it is greater than what the previous number, but it's still below the threshold. The threshold is what? It should be above 50 and what? Beyond. Okay. So since it is below that, that means contraction. Contraction simply means what? Weakness in the currency pair. Okay, weakness in. So if you are seeing euro to be weak, then what? We have to see a sell. Any pair that we are going to pair it with euro, we need to what? See weakness in the what? Euro. So it's going to sell. That's why we are seeing a sell, but it hasn't been or it has been released. Let me check. Okay, so it's left with 1 minute for it to be released. Mostly the service is the most impactful. Okay, so the service is beyond the threshold, which is 53.0, but the previous one was what 55.0. So is it still going to be an expansion since it's still beyond the threshold of 50.0? So let's see, is it going to bounce up again or what? Let's see. So in the next, so that's how usually I read the fundamentals. So in the next 1 minute, you are going to see, is it going to bounce up? Because the numbers that you are seeing over here, the service one is what 53.0. So what are you going to see? So 36 seconds more for it to be. That is 22 seconds more. Are you going to see rejection? Wow. Are you people seeing it? Are you people seeing it? You see the gap? Are you people seeing it?
Serious.
So if I tell you people to avoid these times, I didn't even see how the candle was formed. It was like a flash. So you see the gap. So if it has given us a gap like this, so there's a chances that price is going to move up and what fill this gap. So let me see then the data that was released. So the actual was 44. So it was still what's low, but mostly the service one hasn't been released yet. The platform has free. The platform has freeze. The platform has freeze. The platform has freeze because of the news trying to. So you see, I hope you people are seeing it yourself. You see how the candle was formed. So I'm having a high hope that this candle is going to what, move up. Let me check GG and see what happened over there. Avoid those times. Avoid it. Alright. It's also moving down. Down. Avoid those times if you want to see your account. But if you want to see a healthy account, avoid those times. So when Okay, it has now come. So these times in the forex market, we need to be very, very, very. We need to see a high probability setup before we execute. Because one thing is what I think they're having some problem. Forex factory is having some problem. So we need to be very careful because these times of it's not a healthy times because there are a lot of things going on in the world. Elections, end of year, you get it, election, end of year, and other stuff. So we need to be very, very careful. Businesses, as in companies, are trying to close their financial years and other stuff. So we need to be very, very careful. Election too is about to approach. We need to seek for higher probability setups before we go in for trade. So 7:32, you are going to see another one. At 7:30, you are going to see another one. I want to see there is still what's going on. Usually I use Forex Factory. I'm used to Forex Factory. Okay, it has come. Okay, so you see the numbers. So that's why I'm saying most of the time these numbers that we see, we don't base your conclusion on those numbers. It's just a speculation. You see the actual number was what, 48.3. I hope you guys are seeing it. 48.3, which is below the threshold. Is below the threshold. The threshold is supposed to be what? 50 and beyond. You get it? 50 and beyond. That means what? Expansion. So the reason why we saw the sell, I told you the service is most impactful according to my experience. So 48.3, which is what? Below what? Below country, which is below what you were expecting. So most of the times the service one is the impactful one. So the reason why we saw what? A dump, we saw what Euro USD falling heavily is because of what? This numbers that was given, 48.3, which is below the threshold of what? It's supposed to be expansion is supposed to be 50 and beyond, but now we saw what, 48.3. Initially I concluded that because of the 53.0, that means what, we are supposed to see expansion. You get it? You are supposed to see expansion, but now it's happened that the actual numbers were what 48.3. So sometimes the numbers that you are seeing on Forex Factory, some of the speculations or some of the numbers, the forecast numbers happens to be right, but not every day or not every time that it's going to be right. Not every time that it is going to be right. So we saw what 48.3, which is below what they are expecting. Okay, so that's why we are seeing euros fall. We are seeing that what we saw the candles being what moving down. So you need to be able to read the technicals and the fundamentals together. Don't base solely on the technicals. Being able to read the fundamentals too is very, very important. So the next one, in the next 30 minutes, okay. So we are going to see the German flash manufacturing PMI and German flash service PMI. Another one. You get it. So it's the same. It's almost the same data. So this one too, the service one is what, 51.1, and this one is 42.4. So what's going to happen in? So trading news can be sometimes very, very dicey. You get it? Trading the news can be very, very dicey. So you need to be very careful. So I'm expecting. So now it has created a gap. There was a gap over here, and this candle opened with there was no pullback or there was no wick at the top. One thing that we are going to see is what, a flip. it needs to flip up, fill this gap. Then either it's going to continue up with that one, unless the market starts behaving like that. So at this point, you are going to wait for the next news release, which is going to be 7:30. So in the next 7 minutes, you are going to see another high impact news. So I hope you guys are seeing. So I was saying, so this is what I was saying. So GBP USD. I hope you people are seeing how the news affected the pound, even though it was euro news. But I hope you guys are seeing how it affected the pound. I hope you are seeing the spike on the pound. So it doesn't matter so far as it is in the eurozone, so far as they are in the same lending session, we are going to see what an impact in other parts of the currencies too. So that's why you are seeing it. Even I think gold. Let's check gold. It's even going to affect gold, even though you see it affected gold, but not other heavily like that. Okay, so since it is in the lending session, it's going to affect all of them. You get it? It's even affecting pounds, so you don't have to overlook them. If the CHF news, I remember this thing has also happened to me before. I overlooked it. There was CHF news, and I was thinking CHF is not going to affect the pound. That time I was trading pound, the pound JPY, and it affected it. It affected the pound. You get it? It affected the pound. So don't think it's not going to affect the pound. It's really going to affect the pound. It's really going to affect the pound since they are in the same zone. Okay, since it's just recently that the those people broke out from the euro, the eurozone. But the euro, when there's news on euros, is going to affect the pound. When there's a news in CHF, is going to affect the pound. So you have to pay much attention to that. You get it? You need to pay much attention to that. So the next 30 minutes, we are going to have. So today I'm trying to show you how to be able to read the fundamentals. So this is what you need to first of all understand the news events. Okay, you need to understand the data. So the flash manufacturing PMI. If you want to understand flash, is it flash? The flash manufacturing PMI. So purchasing managers index. So it's simply what asking the managers, purchasing managers, how they are what their view on the economy, the health. So it's simply what it simply indicates how healthy the economy is. Okay, the health of the economy. So it just a survey that they do to what ask those managers about their view on how they see the economy based on what, based on the business that they are running, or based on how sales is going. So if they give good review and the review is above 50%, that means what, there was an expansion in the economy. But if they give the review that they are giving is below 50%, that means what, there was contraction in the economy. You get it? So the ones that you are seeing over here, the ones that you are seeing over here in the next one you are seeing below. Okay, it's only the service that you are seeing what above, but this is just what a forecast number. So as we saw it over here, the forecast was what 53.8, which is below. Okay, so we are hoping to see this one to also come out and see how it's going to what. So in the next 3 minutes, it's left with 3 minutes for it to end. So that's what you are expecting. So you need to first of all understand the economic. You need to understand the events. After understanding the events, then you read the data. You get it? Then you read the data. So in the next 2 minutes, we are going to see another high news hitting the market. So let's check it on Euro USD. So some days are very hard to trade. Other some days too are very cool. So that's how the market works. Sometimes you get a clear setup, you take it cool, you move on in your life. Other days too is very, very tough. Some days are very hot. Some days are very cool. Some days too are very hard. So next one is about to happen. Is it really going to? Is the German? So is this way going to get? I hope you I hope you people are seeing what is happening in the market. Where the candles are starting. Instead of it to start this opening this, instead of it to start from here, you saw where it started. It's not. I hope you people are seeing what is going on in the market. Crazy day. A lot of news. A lot of news events. A lot of news events. A lot of news events today. So let me see what happened. So the platform has frozen again. The platform has frozen because of the Forex factory. It's so freezing. I want to see what happened. The data that was also released. So you don't have to rely solely on Forex Factory to make our decision. You just give us a guide, but that doesn't mean we need to rely on. Okay, we are not. So you have some insiders that they see it before the news will be even released. Okay, I think they said, yeah, we call them inside traders or something. They see it before they even the news will be released. Okay, so this happens to be even beyond. So that means you have to see that, yeah, this is what you have to see, because this was above what 50 points. The service, this is above 50.6. Okay, which is be above. So this gap needs, all these gaps will get filled. All these gaps will get filled. These ones are all going to get filled. Okay, because we are seeing some gaps. There are some gaps in the market. All these ones is going to get filled. But we are not going to take a what do you call it? A buy. Okay, this is not the proper way to trade. Even though it's the gaps are going to get filled, but there was no entry. Okay, there was no entry for them. These ones are all going to be filled because there's a gap. That's not how the market usually forms. So it needs to correct it. Okay, it needs to correct it. Usually this is how the candle forms. So if it has, this is the bearish candle. Okay, so with the bearish candle, this is the opening of the candle. This is the opening. Yeah, this is the opening, and this is the close. I'm showing you how usually the candles at normal circumstances, this is how they are supposed to form. This is the close. Okay, so if the next candle is forming, it needs to start at where it was. It needs to start at where it formed. You get it? But I see where it started. This means that what it formed at a wrong the price that it formed at, or the place that it formed at, is not the right place. You get it? It's not the right place. So, and this one too was supposed to form. This is the opening, this is the close. So the next one will start from where it's closed. So the next one is going to be like this. This is how it's usually forms. This is what you are supposed to see. But see how it's formed. Okay, see how it formed. The way it formed wasn't the proper way it's supposed to form. So we are going to see the correction. We need to see a buy. Okay, you need to see a buy, but you can't take a decision over here. You can't take a decision at this point, because what shows it's going to buy, even though we are having some we are having some indication that what this gap is going to, but what shows, and even if you are entering a buy, where are you going to put your stop loss? That's going to be a very difficult decision to make. You get it? So you don't have to make an impulsive decision at this point. You need to wait, even though it's going to fall, but it is not in our trading plan. This is the gap. This one is going to pull and fill all this these zones, and what, either it's going to retrace or move up, but the gap is going to fill. But as at when it's going to fill, we can't tell. Okay, we can't tell. We can't tell when it is going to get filled. So so if the H4 candle so as I'm saying, we don't have to be buying at the top and buying at the tip. We need to make sure we are following the trend, even though the weekly time frame. So as I said, you see the weekly time frame. Even though the weekly time frame is giving us a break and retest setup, you get it. The weekly time frame is giving us a break and retest setup. There was no confirmation. There was no confirmation. You get it? Because at this point, if you are taking an impulsive decision, where to place your stop loss is even going to be a problem. You get it? It's even going to be a problem. So far as maybe we saw a bearish candle it would have been a nice to take a sell to this end. Okay, like what happened at the daily time frame the other time. You see, the other time I told you where was the GBP JPY on the daily time frame. Yeah. So you see, I told you it's going to get to the next zone, and exactly as I said, it went to what, the next zone. But with this one, there was no entry. Okay, there's no entry because if we are taking, since the weekly time frame is not giving the entry, since the weekly time frame is not giving the entry, if you want to take an entry, that means when you move to the lower time frame, you need to make sure structure is in your favor. Structure is in your favor. But at this point, the daily time frame is what? The daily time frame is an uptrend. So you need to see what structure like this. You need to make sure structure has shifted to a downtrend. Something like this. So when it pulls back, then you take what? A sell. You get it? That's what you are expecting. But when it comes to the buy, since the daily candle has broken, I still have a strong belief that this candle is just going to buy. Since this level is a strong level, maybe what you are going to see is what? A flip to this side to buy. That's what I'm anticipating, and that's what I'm hoping it will happen. But at this point, we can't conclude it's going to happen. You get it? We can't conclude it's going to happen. We can't conclude it's going to happen. So let's see. Because if you are taking a sell, then the structure needs to be in your favor. Okay. These are all pullbacks. At the what? Lower time frame. They are all pullback at the lower time frame. So these are just pullbacks. And when it comes to buy, if you are taking a buy, since the daily time frame is an uptrend and the H4 time frame is an uptrend, if you are taking a buy, this is the next area of interest. This is the area of interest. Okay, we need to wait for a retest on this level. Then what if structure shifts to an uptrend, or maybe if you see a bearish candle, something like this? See what happened over here. The other time you wanted to take this buy, that was on Friday. On Friday we wanted to take this buy, if you guys can remember, and I was saying we need to wait for what? We need to move to the H1 time frame. So the H1 time frame, this is the point structure shifted in our favor to an uptrend. When structure shifted in our favor to an uptrend, this is the point you could have taken a buy. The moment it broke this one, you could have taken a buy and target the next one. So that's exactly what I'm expecting. So if the H4 candle retest on this one, because usually I base my directional bias on what the H4 time frame and the daily time frame. Unfortunately, they are all in the same direction, but now it is pulling back. So I'm waiting for a retest, this kind of retest like this. So what I'm expecting the next candle to be doing is what? Either to see a bullish candle or what? A structure. That's what I'm expecting, to either see a bullish candle or a structure to be in my favor. Okay, this is what I'm expecting. This is what I'm expecting. Okay. Or either to wait for a structure, something like this. Or maybe a structure. Like what happened? The same thing that happened on what? This is what I'm expecting. Okay. So when it breaks, so the next candle open close, the next candle is going to be here. So when it breaks above this one, then we take a buy. You get it. Then we take a buy. You get it. Then we take a buy. So this is what I'm expecting on GJ. Okay, by now it hasn't aligned yet. It hasn't aligned yet, so we can't conclude. The market is really tough today because of what? The major news events. So not every day that you, some days you need to learn. Some days you just need to just come for the market to teach you a lesson. Then what? You move on. Not every day is a trading day. Some days are for what? Learning. Just come and observe what the market is doing. So that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting it to pull back on this one. Then what? I make a decision. Because I don't like taking the counter trend entry. So at 8 o'clock too, we are having medium. So 8 o'clock too, we are having medium impact news. The orange folder simply means what? Medium impact news. So it's the same thing, which is what also flash manufacturing PMI on euros. So with that one, the euro is supposed to move up, but they're expecting strength in the euros. So I'm hoping this thing, this gap is going to get filled. I'm expecting this gap to get filled. Get it? I'm expecting this gap to get filled. This gap to get filled. But as at when it is going to get filled, we can't tell for now. We can't tell for now. We can't tell when it is going to get filled. That's the most difficult decision now. So the market structure this morning is not that clean, but it's Monday, so we need to be very, very careful. So I want to show you something. I observed something on Friday, so you guys should see something on Friday. So you see, most of the times we have been taking this trade, and you see how it got invalidated. You see, we had a breakout rate test. You see, there was what? Support. It created a support over here. These things is it's very hard. It's hardly to get invalidated when this one of my best setups that I love. And on Monday, that's the kind of setup we took. But when you come to the 30-minute time frame, the same thing happened over here. You see how easily it got invalidated. It's easily invalidated it. You get it? It's easily invalidated. We had what support over here, support. But you see how easily. But when it comes to the H4 time frame, it came and respected the H4 time frame perfectly. The H4 resistance rather. I hope you people are seeing it. So when you move to the 30, so you see, as it came to the H4 time frame, price respected the resistance, the H4 support perfectly, and what it bounced back. I hope you people are seeing it. It came and respected the H4 time frame perfectly, and it bounced back. So you see how important this using the high time frame. But when it comes to the lower time frame, when it happens on what the 30 minutes, it easily invalidated it. You get it? It's easy. So the reason why most of the time your stop loss gets hit is because of what you are using lower time frames. The reason why your stop loss easily gets hit is because of what the lower time frame. So price easily invalidated it. You get it? This is one of my favorite setup. The moment the bullish candle form, expecting it to buy on the lower time frames, it's easily invalidated. But when it comes to what the H4, it's respected it and bounced back. I hope you people are seeing it. It's respected it and bounced back. So that's the importance of what using the higher time frames. It's very hard. So that's why mostly I've been advising you people to be buying on what the H4, the daily, and what the weekly support and resistance levels. That's when you are going to see profitability in trading. But if you are using the lower time frames, the M15 support and resistances, it's easily going to be invalidated. So this one, the chances of price moving up is very high because now the daily candle has what? The daily dip has been broken. You get it? The dip of the candle has been broken. The dip of the candle has been broken. So it's very, very important to take note of that. Now the dip has been broken. So now the candle structure has been invalidated at the daily time frame. Candle structure has been invalidated at the daily time frame. So when you move to H4, the structure too has changed. The pattern structure has changed to what? This is a point it changed. Okay, good morning, Buson Dami Joshua. Good morning, how are you? So it has been broken at this point. You get it? It has been broken at this end. It has been broken. So now it's very difficult to make a decision. Price is very, very difficult. But the daily time frame on GU, price is currently what? With one, with two, with one, with this is the daily. So let's pay attention to this thing. Let's pay critical attention to this thing. So on the daily time frame, we are having what? A support over here. Okay, that wasn't the price. That wasn't the price. So we are having what? A support over here. So you see, this zone is very, very important. We are again having what? A support over here. At the daily time frame, you see, you have a support over here. We have a support over here. So the chances of price retesting on this level to move back is very high. But we can't take a buy. Okay, we can't take a buy because there's no confirmation at this point. There's no confirmation at this point. You get it? There's no confirmation at this point because currently, as I said, you need to see a bullish candle before you take a buy. You can't make a decision now because what shows is going to buy, even though price you have what two support and resistance level that the chances of price what reacting on those level is very high, but you've not seen what you are not having a confirmation now. Okay, so I'm having a strong belief that price is just retesting on this level, then it will move back, but you can't make a decision, you can't take impulsive buy. When it happens, when you do those things, if you take, since you are saying price has gotten to those level, two key levels at the daily time frame, price is going to, even though it can reject, but don't take a buy. If it happens like that, you are going to lose more often. When you continue to be doing those things, you are going to be losing most often. I know some people have been doing that. They are going to take a buy because of this how strong the zone is. Wait for confirmation. The confirmation is waiting for what? A structure to form or waiting for a bearish candle at the daily time frame. Because currently, if you are taking a buy at what? The H4 time frame, this is the point price. This is the point it got invalidated. Okay, price invalidated it at this point. Okay, price invalidated it at this point. So it's currently a downtrend. So you need to wait for a market structure to shift in your favor. If you are taking a buy at the H4 time frame, it's just a pullback, okay, or it's just a correction. But so you have to wait for something like this. You need to wait for something like this. When it moves in your favor, then what? You take a buy. This is what you are expecting. Then you take the continuation, which is going to align with what? The daily time frame. Which is going to align with the daily time frame. But even though I have a strong belief that price is going to reject at this level, but I'm not going to take a buy because I need to seek a confirmation. What shows is going to buy? And the daily candle itself hasn't closed yet. Okay, the daily candle hasn't closed yet. So I'm not going to buy at the top, and I'm not going to buy at the dip. I have to wait for confirmation. Wait for the candle to close. Wait for additional confirmation. That's when you are going to see what growth in your account. But if you don't wait for confirmations, you are going to be losing more often. So as I said, even though I'm seeing a strong confirmation at the daily time frame, so when it comes to the H4, we are seeing 1 1. So let's check left and see whether we have some support and resistance level right. Okay, we don't have some over there. So on the daily time frame, we had a repeated support and support levels, a repeated support levels. But at this point, I'm not going to take a buy, even though I still have some belief that it is going to bounce at this point. Okay, it's going to bounce at this point, but you have to first of all seek for confirmation. There's no confirmation for me, so I'm not going to take a buy at this point. I'm not going to take a buy at this point. I have to wait for a confirmation. The daily candle hasn't closed, so these are the things that I would love to see in case maybe the daily candle, if the daily candle close, see a bearish candle, the next bearish candle what's moving up, you get it. That's going to be a nice a trade signal, something like this. Then the next candle move up, that's when I'm going to take a buy. But at this point, nah, I'm not going to take a buy. At this point, I'm not going. This is what I want to see, which is going to take a long time for it to happen. So if the daily time frame is going to take a long time for it to happen, then I have to move towards the H4 time frame. But unfortunately, the H4 time frame is a downtrend. Okay, it's a downtrend. So I don't have to. Even if you are taking a down, where are you going to place your stop loss? So I don't have to be taking an info. I have to wait for a shift. I have to wait for a clear confirmation before. I have to wait for a clear confirmations before. So at 8 o'clock, too, you are going to have some medium impact news on euros. So it's still moving very. It's still moving down. It's still moving down. So 8 o'clock, too, you're having 8:32. You're having the same thing. We need to wait. Even if the H4 candle close, the candle and the market is kind of confusing today. It's kind of confusing today. It's really kind of confusing. So what do you guys think? Those in the what do you guys think about the market today? Those in the YouTube channel. Is it advisable to be trading today? Those on YouTube, is it advisable to be trading today? At the lending session, is it advisable? Rather, the lending session that I'm talking of, because you're having a lot of news events. A lot of news events. So you've observed, so the next one, we've observed the 7:15 one, we've observed the 7:30 one. So currently the 8 o'clock one that you are looking up to. So 8:32, you are having one. We are having a lot of news events. So trading currency is full of what? News event. It's full of news event. Not really. It's not advisable. It's not advisable because the lending session this morning is kind of the only best way to be trading is what? After the H4 candle has closed. I think that would be the best one because most of the 8:32 you are going to have one major high impact news at 8:30. At 8:30 you are going to have one major high impact news. So you see, as I said, this level is being rejected, but I'm not going to take a buy. Okay, I'm not going to take a buy. The reason I said it's going to get rejected is because of what? The couple of what, or the multiple support level that we found at the daily time frame. You see, imagine even on daily time frame, one support itself is going to hold, and now you've seen what? Multiple support levels. But I'm not going to take a buy because of that. That's not in my trading plan. In my trading plan is what? Wait for structures to shift in my direction before I will take a decision. But at this point, I'm not going to take a decision. I'm not going to take an impulsive move because it can easily, what it shows it's going to buy. You need to wait for a confirmation. Let me check the 50. So even 15 minutes, the lower time frame is not giving you an indication. Okay, so how come you are going to buy? Even the 15-minute candle is not giving you a confirmation. So let me give you this clue. If you are buying and you are not seeing bullish candle, you are just doing yourself a harm. You need to make sure if you are buying, you are seeing a bullish candle. If you are selling, you have to make sure a bullish candle has. If you are selling, you have to make sure what? A bearish candle has closed. If you are buying, you have to make sure what? A bearish candle has what? Sorry, a bullish candle has closed. What mistake most people do is what? If price gets to what? A high support or resistance level, they start what? Taking action over there. They don't wait for candle confirmation. You see now price is breaking through. You get it. You see now price is breaking through. So you need to wait for confirmation. That's the best way to go. You need to wait for strong confirmation. You need to wait for strong confirmation before. So kindly give a like. Kindly give a like on the stream. Those on YouTube, kindly give a like on the stream. Kindly give a like on the stream. So majority of you are saying it's not advisable to taking a buy at this point. So has it been released? Okay. So euros, I don't know what is going on over there. It's kind of weird this morning. The weakness on euro is too much. The weakness on euro is too much. So let's try and analyze even if the H4 candle close, which pair can we see potential? When it comes to Euro USD, there's no potential, even if the H4 candle close, because it is heading towards what? A weekly resistance, a support. You get it? It is heading towards weekly support. So even if the H4 candle close, there's still no potential. There's still no potential on what? There's no. We are not going to see any trade on what? Even if the H4 candle close, we are still not going to find an opportunity. So let me forget about Euro USD. Let's move to GU then see if the H4 candle to close, because I think I'm not seeing anything better. So with GU2, so if the H4 candle close, at which level are you going to take a position? So on Euro USD, on GBP USD2, because initially I projected I wanted to take a buy, even so there's still no opportunity for me to take a buy. So even if the H4 candle close, still there's no opportunity. Okay, there's still no, unless maybe this candle make a wick, because we are seeing a structure break at this point. You get it? So Euro USD2. So I think maybe GBP JPY will be the one that. Okay. So one thing you are going to be looking for on GJ is what? It is now retesting on this key level. Okay, so we have a support level over here. We have a support level over here. We have a support level over there. You get it? So this is a strong zone. So if price break above this one, then we can move towards the lower time frame. So the lower time frame, you can see it over here that the lower time frame is what? A downtrend. You get it's a downtrend. Sorry, yeah, it's a downtrend. This is the point it got invalidated. So unless maybe there's a shift, something like this, a shift in structure, then what? We take a buy. You get it? So this is the point. There's going to be a shift in structure. We can't use candle confirmation. If a bearish candle form on what? The H1, we can't use a candle confirmation. If you are taking a buy, that means it's going to be a counter trend at what? The H1. And one thing too that you have to notice, what? Anytime you are taking a buy or anytime that you are taking an entry, you prefer when all the what? The structures are in our favor. But if you are going to use candle at this point, that means what? You are trading the correction. It's a correction that you are trading, not a trend. You get it? We are trading correction, not a trend. So it's not advisable to be doing that. You get it? It's not advisable to be doing that. So one thing I would recommend is what we will prefer to wait for what extractor should be in favor in case maybe the H4 close like this. If the H4 close like this, we're having a strong level over here. You get it? We're having a strong area of interest over here. That so it's like a break and retest. So after the break and retest, you need to have a confirmation. Sorry. After the break and retest, you need to get a confirmation. You get it? You need to get a confirmation. So at this point, the confirmation we are going to seek is what? We need to, if you are going to wait for the H4 to close, that means you are going to wait the next H4 to close. That means what? At the H4 time frame, that means you are going to what? Be taking trade around 1 p.m. What do you call it? Around 1 p.m. GMT, which is going to be what do you call it? Which is going to be a New York session, and the New York session to around 1:45. There's going to be what another news, which is not advisable. Okay, if you are waiting for the one the H4 the next H4 to close, that means you are going to wait till 1 p.m. So if you want to take, if this one close, and if you want to take a buy, then you can move to H1. So with the H1, so you need to make sure structure or the trend is in your direction. At currently the trend is a downtrend. If you are taking a buy over here, that means it's a counter trend. Okay, it's a counter trend at the H1 time frame. So if you are using candle to confirm, candle is going to be what a downtrend. So you have to wait for what a structure rather. At this point, you are going to wait for a structure like this. Then you take a buy. Okay, then you take a. That's what I'm expecting it to happen. And we are going to wait for structure. That's the GJ is the only thing that even if the H4 close, you are going to find an opportunity. Okay, even if the H4 candle close, that's when you are going to get an opportunity. So YouTube, do you have anyone who has a question? If you have any question, kindly let me know, because nothing better to be looking for. The market is not giving us any clear thing to look for. So when you look at the M30, you are seeing a clear trend, but I don't base on the M30 for confirmation. So you need to know the time frame you are sticking to, the time frame that is favorable to you. That's the best way to go by this game. You get it? You need to have a time frame. Time frame selection too is very important. You need to know the time frame that you are going to what based on. So if you are going to use the H1 for your analysis and the M50 and M30 for your entries, you need to make sure you've practiced it, and what you understand how it happens. If you are going to base on what the H4 for what for your analysis and what's your entry, then you need to make sure you've practiced and you've understood how the time frame works. You get it? You've understood how it works. It's very, very important. Okay, it's very, very, very important to understand them. So that's what you are going to expect. So let's wait for this news event to see how it's going to happen. So in the next 18 minutes, we are going to see how this one is going to happen. So it's kind of weird this morning. It's kind of, so I'm waiting. I would love this candle to close beneath this one. You get it? That's what I would like to see. I would like to see this candle closing on this one. Then when I move to what H1 time frame, I would love to see structure to be in my direction, in my favor. Yeah, I will take a buy. Then I'll take a buy on GBP JPY. So this is the level that I would love to take a buy on. So the peak range from here to here was 120 please. So is it going to break through? Please, how will you know a signal is a weekly, hourly, or daily? For how long have you traded? First stores, first stores. Is it full stores or first stores? Full stores, full stores. Akanyanti. Please, how will you know a signal is weekly? For how long have you traded? For how long have you been in a trading game? Because your question, for how long have you traded? Full stores. Full stores, for how long have you traded? Because your question is, please, how will you know no signal? A signal is weekly, hourly. What is, how will you know a signal is weekly, hourly, or daily? So kindly reply to my question. For how long have you traded? Then I'll answer your question. Hmm? So it is breaking through. It is breaking through the level. So this is the level I would love to take a buy on. Okay. So this is the level I would love to take a buy on. I would love to take a buy on this level. When it comes to this side, I'm not interested. And I'll be interested again at this level. Yeah. I'll be interested again at this level to take a buy. I'll be interested again to take a buy at this level. You get it? So if it broke above this one, if it breaks below this one, I would love to take. This is the level that I would love to take a buy to the next level. So these are the levels. So you need to know the levels that you would love to take entries on. You need to know the levels that you would love to take entries on. You get it? You need to know the levels. Hold on. So let me check on gold. Today I've not analyzed gold. So when it comes to gold, so gold is in all-time high. So the weekly is what? Uptrend. So the daily is what? It's also currently an up. So as I'm saying, gold has gotten to a price that it hasn't been there before. It's at the highest level. So the daily time frame. So the H4 time frame. So on the H4 time frame, the trend is, even though it's an uptrend, but it's trying to invalidate it based on the candle has broken, candle structure has been invalidated. Candle structure has been invalidated. You get it? So when it comes to the H1, with H1, mm, so it's kind of this one, unless this one close, unless the H4 close. I've actually not been trading, still learning how to place a trade on my demo account. I said, for how long have you traded? For how long have you been in the game? I didn't see. That's what I'm asking. For how long have you been in the game? For how long have you been in trading? But, I would like, how will I know that a signal is a weekly, hourly, or so when the prices are the same in all the time frame, just that the time frames, the weekly, the daily, and those time frames are just there for, they are just the time frames are just there for what, for you to know the times that a candle is closed and open. But when it comes to prices are the same. If currently price on gold is what, price on gold USD is maybe 2618, if you go to the H1 time frame, you go to M1 time frame, the price is still going to be the same. But what happens over there is what, just the formation of candles. That's what you have to know. Just the formation of candles. So when it comes to the H1, when it comes to the H1 time frame, what happens over there is what, at H1 time frame, for every 1 hour a candle opens and closes. But when it comes to the M30 time frame, for every 30 minutes a candle is open and close. You get it? So that's the only difference when it comes to the time frames. It doesn't matter. Prices are the same. If price currently is 2,680 for 1 ounce of gold, it's the same thing when you go to what, the M30 time frame. It's the same thing. So that's what you have to note. It's the same thing. You get it? It's the same thing. It's the same thing when you go to other time frames. So that's what you have to bear in mind. So gold, I would love to wait for what, the H4 candle to close. So on Euro USD, there's another upcoming news. So the potential, the trade that is what maybe I would love to take is when the H4 candle close like this. That's what I would love to take a trade on. So Fustos, is it Festus or Fustos? So as I said, the prices are the same. Prices are going to reflect on all the time frames. You get it? Prices are going to reflect the same. It's going to be the same on all the time frames that you are going to move to. But the most important thing is what? The most important thing is what do you call it? The difference is just the formation of candles. It's just the differences in candles. When it comes to H1 time frame, for every hour a candle opens and closes. When it comes to the daily time frame, for every day a candle opens and closes. That's the difference among the time frames. But when it comes to prices, if currently price on price on pound dollar is what, 190.296. When you move to the M15 time frame, it's the same price. So currently it's what, 190.300. It's the same thing. Okay, prices are the same. So if a signal is given to you, you don't have to consider the time frame. The most important thing is the price, and prices are the same to all the time frames that you are going to move to. So another news is about to hit the market at what, 8:30. That's what we are waiting for. So if you want to trade news events, let me show you how you'll be able to do it. If you want to take trade, if you want to gamble on news, this is how you go by it. So we have something called, so this is what, 8:30. So it's going to happen at 8:30. So this is what you are going to do. So you are going to set your buy stop at this candle. You get it? I'm showing you how you'll be able to gamble on it. I don't do that, but that's how it's being done. Those who trade news, that's how they do it. So you set your buy stop. If you want a strong confirmation, then maybe you can move to the H1 time frame. Okay. So if you move to the H1 time frame, because the reason why we set buy stop and sell stop is what? When the candle breaks, please, someone's background is noisy, which you have always been making noise. You don't mute yourself, and I will mute you, and you will never come back again.
It does that automatically. I don't intentionally do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mute, but without realize that it has on mute.
Then you have to work on that. So the reason this thing, when it comes to candles, when a candle an ongoing candle breaks the previous candle tip, it means what? Candle structure has been invalidated. So that's why we usually set the buy stop and the sell stop. But one thing is, you need to understand the time frame candle that you are using. Mostly, if you use H1 time frame, you see it's going to take a long time for it to be invalidated. Because when you use the H1 time frame, it's a strong confirmation candle. If you use M30, but if you use M15, H5, it easily breaks the highs and lows. Okay, so let's try this one. Let me check the news event. That will be GBP. Okay, so we are going to try that. So if you have a demo account, let's try it together. Let's trade it together. So this is what you are going to do. We are going to, let me clear everything. So the news will happen that's flash service manufacturing PM. Let's see whether you'll be profitable on this thing. So this is the H1 candle, right? So we are going to be doing that on the M30 candle. We are going to set our buy stop. Since it's what, the 30-minute closure, we are going to set our buy stop over here. You need to give a breathing room. Okay, you need to give like 2 pips breathe for it to be. So you have to take it on demo. You are testing it, so you leave like 2 pips. Okay, we leave an intervals like 2 pips, and we set sell stop. We leave like 2 pips. You get it? You leave like 2 pips. So this point is going to be our buy stop. This point is going to be our buy stop. You get it? At this point is going to be our sell stop. With the sell stop, we need to wait for sell stop. So as I said, if you want a strong confirmation, then you use a higher time frame, a time frame higher than what, the M30. So you can use the H1 too. But mostly H4 is going to what? You are going to be late to the entry. You get it? You are going to be late to the entry. So you are going to set your sell stop and a buy stop. Because if you are using the H1, so unless maybe it breaks the previous dip, so you try it on demo before you try. So you leave like 2 pips. You leave like 2 pips. You get it? So this is how you are going to do it. So 2 minutes time for it to happen. So if it triggers this one, you are going to delete this one. You get it? If this one get triggered, you are going to delete this one. If this one triggers, you are going to delete this one. So that's what you are going to do it. So set your pending orders. So that's how usually people trade the news, which is not guaranteed. I hope you guys heard what I said. We are trying things out today. So 1 minute. So 1 minute for it to happen. So one disadvantage is when the news is not impactful. Sometimes you get triggered and you are not going to see a massive move. That's the disadvantage. When the news happens, when it is not impactful, sometimes you'll be triggered in and you are not going to see a massive move and you'll be stuck. That's the disadvantage. So this is going to be the buy stop. So in the next few seconds, you are going to see the move. Let's observe it together. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. 24 seconds more, 23 seconds more, 21 seconds more, 18 seconds, 17 seconds, 16 seconds, 14 seconds. Buy stop, sell stop, it's ready. So the one that will get triggered first, then you delete the other one. So you see, if it is not impactful, that's the thing that I've been saying. So you see, it is not impactful, so you delete everything. That's the disadvantage. If the news is not impactful, sometimes you get triggered in, and if you get triggered in and you are stuck, so the news is not impactful. It wasn't impactful. So that's the disadvantage about trading the news event. So not everything that we are going to apply this thing. So next time, maybe let me see whether we are going to. You will be doing it on. So mostly we apply this thing on the high impact news, like maybe the CPI, the retail sales, the FOMC, the NFPs, and those stuffs. So let me check whether we are going to be having any high impact news. So we have monitoring policy CHF. So maybe Thursday we try it on it. So anytime that maybe you will be on the stream and also high impact news, you try this thing on it. But at this point, there's no high impact news. So you see, it didn't get triggered, so you deleted everything. I was thinking the flash PMI. I think everything has been priced in during the what euros. So that's why we are not seeing, because we are supposed to see high impact news on. Is it the service PMI? Flash PMI. All right. So at this point, let me check GJ, because GJ is what maybe I'll be taking a trade on. Let me check how the chart is looking like at the H4 time frame. Okay, so it's still on the level. So if it breaks above this one, then I'll be looking for a buy. So anything, I'll update those in the private group. So at this point, you call it a day. Tomorrow to we'll meet. Okay. So Monday to Friday, if you are new to this stream, Monday to Friday we meet every morning at this point or at this place. Okay. We meet every morning from Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. GMT to 9 a.m. GMT. Okay. So thank you all for tuning on to today's live stream. See you all tomorrow same time. All right. Bye bye to everyone. Have a nice day. All right.
All
Bye
right.
bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Hey Charlie, my man is seeing no reason. How are you? How was your paper?
Oh, fine, coach.
Wow.
Oh, correct.
Correct. Correct. Okay.
But on Forex, so I guess you didn't write anything better. Oh.
So we would
But you know that money first.
we will try and fund your university education. So you need to make sure. All right.
The week has begun. So we'll see about that.
You said?
I said the week has begun, so we'll see about that.
Yeah. I hope you've not forgotten anything.
Oh, nothing.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
See.
even getting to my laptop. I want to launch it. Let me refresh it. Like, it's been a long time I opened it,
So I said Brainy has taken your position.
Oh no, don't worry. But he's my brother. He can be in my position. Don't worry. Yeah.
Are you sure you've accepted it?
I accepted. Oh,
but I said you want to compete with him before. You want to have some challenge with him.
Oh wow. If they ask the challenge, we can go. Oh yeah. I do know.
Charlie, Brainy is now wild. Brainy is now wild.
I see.
He has been giving us signals back to back, Charlie.
He's a senior man now.
Yeah, he's a senior man now, Charlie. He's the market wizard now. He knows every single move of the market. All right. So see you tomorrow. So you communicate on the group. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, bye.
Bye bye, YouTube.